So the 8th chapter of the Tekken series begins. Hi, I'm Sinjul, and I had the opportunity to check out the current build of Tekken 8 at the Bandai Namco Germany office. I was able to have a look at the story, arcade quest, replay, and Tekken Ball modes. Of course, there were only a few hours to check out the game, but I can already tell you, Tekken 8 is the best fighting game package I've ever seen. In the previous betas, we were already able to play versus mode and practice mode. So I'll skip these modes today. Let's head right into story mode and then follow up with, in my opinion, the most important mode, arcade quest. Heihachi may be dead, but Kazuya and Jin still got a score to settle. And I love how the game switches from cutscene to in-game and throws you right into your first battle as Jin. As someone who hasn't played Jin since Tekken 3, I had to learn to swim very quickly. I picked normal difficulty, and even on that difficulty the CPU is already pretty competent. Throughout the fight there are throwbacks to the previous game's story so you can catch up, and in the end both Jin and Kazuya unleash their devil forms. Devil Kazuya may be strong, but his power is nothing compared to my power of cheese. The end, Jin needs to lose for the story to unfold, and Kazuya can finally show his true self. A grumpy tournament organizer that loves to pitch people against each other. And I bet he's also rigging the King of Iron Fist tournament brackets. Why Devil Kazuya needs to host a tournament instead of just blasting every country off the map right away? No clue, but that way at least every character has a reason to fight in the tournament, right? Will Jin defeat Kazuya in the King of Iron Fist tournament? We'll find out on January 26th. Next, let's have a look at my personal favorite, Arcade Quest. This mode is about you as a player and your personal growth, all set in a world where video game arcades are still a big part of the community. It reminds me of my childhood in 90s Japan that never existed. But first, we create our avatar. Customize to your heart's content and then let Tekken 8 show you the ropes through Max. I love how they introduce players to the Tekken World Tour and tournaments right away. And also to the guy you need to beat, Orochi. So right from the start you get your goal for this mode. Beat this guy. That way new players get a glimpse of real life events, and that not every player in the world is aiming to be the top dog in Tekken. Some are going to the arcades and events just to have fun and meet friends. Starting off in Gong, the first arcade, you get weaker opponents. Perfect opportunity to learn the basics of the game and introduce new players to patterns. This opponent does a chain into low, then chain into mid option, for example. The game keeps introducing you to mechanics and basic combos step by step. In-game, you also have missions, so you have something to try out during the match, and you also get immediate positive feedback. Finishing off the first arcade is a tournament. Time to learn about the dreaded Japanese arcade, first to one, single elimination bracket. Sorry boys, you only got one chance to win the whole thing. So of course, I didn't sugarcoat it. Nick talks big, so time to give him the reality check. Of course we win the tournament and Orochi is there to scratch our itch as well, making you really aim to smack him senseless when you meet at an in-game tournament. I was asked what I think about the single player modes by journalists at the event, and I think this is the best way to introduce players to competitive Tekken and all the beauty around it. Tekken 8 takes you by the hand and puts you on the right to become a higher level Tekken player. It does so step by step, so you don't feel overwhelmed right away. I have high hopes that more players will look into joining the community thanks to the positive experience in-game. This is pretty much a love letter to the fighting game community. Something that will be interesting for competitive players will be the Super Ghost battle mode. You can fight other players' ghost data or even yourself. Data gets uploaded every 3 matches, so the ghost will always be up to date. First I played against Raven Ghost. Of course it's not a real player because the game hasn't launched yet, but it's good to see there's always someone to challenge. I also tested out playing against my own Arena Ghost. First I needed to set up the ghost and provide data. Let's just say it didn't have enough data to be dangerous, and I also didn't teach it how to block. Blocking deals no damage, so there's no need to teach how to block, right? Also, if you do stupid things in matches, like going for parry 4 times in a row, the ghost actually will copy that as well. So make sure not to feed your ghost with garbage data. After your matches, you can head into replay mode and rewatch the match. The game will give you suggestions on combos, punishes, and ways to evade the attacks. If this works well throughout the patches, finally no need to look up wikis for every situation anymore. This in-game help will give players the opportunity to grow without getting advice from other players online or looking up frame data for every single move. Also, you can practice the situation right away by taking control over your character. It's such a game changer for everyone looking to get stronger in Tekken. When you need a break, you can always head into the Tekken Ball minigame. If you remember it from Tekken 3, you know how it's played. Punch the ball to build up damage and don't let the ball hit the ground or you. I could see this turning into a fun side event at offline tournaments, or to let people have fun at conventions, or just enjoy the game with friends on the couch. All in all, I'm really looking forward to Tekken 8 releasing on January 26th. Tekken 8 is the perfect start for new players interested in Tekken. With story mode and arcade quest, there's a lot of content in the game for single player, and Tekken Ball will also calm your nerves when the game gets too stressful. I can't wait to get more in depth with Reina. She's new main character material for me, and with replay mode features, I can up my game quickly. As a fighting game fan, you cannot miss Tekken 8. I really want to thank Bandai Namco Germany for the invitation and the opportunity to play the current build of Tekken 8. I was able to get my hands on these modes that nobody touched before. I could play characters that have not been included in the previous betas. So for me it was a very exciting event, and it was great talking to people outside the fighting game bubble and hear what they think about Tekken. And going by that, I'm really positive for the release of Tekken 8. I think this is the opportunity to have Tekken grow even bigger and attract people outside of the fighting game bubble or the Tekken bubble. And I'm really looking forward to supporting Tekken 8 when it drops at the end of January.